Really excited to talk about DeepRadiology today. When we created this company, we got the opportunity to take two of the most powerful technologies of the 21st century, specifically blockchain and smart contracts, as well as deep learning artificial intelligence, and use them to dramatically lower the cost and improve the accuracy of healthcare services, in particular medical imaging. And why medical imaging? Well, medical imaging today plays a key role in the diagnosis and treatment of virtually every significant medical condition. Unfortunately, there are problems. There's a growing shortage of qualified professionals who are necessary to do the interpretations, the radiologists, physicians that are needed when these studies are processed to interpret the information in them so that they can be used by the healthcare services. Secondly, these interpretations have a very small but yet significant error rate. You know, we're only human, right? But that error rate does contribute to human errors being the third leading cause of death in the United States in the healthcare system following cardiovascular disease and cancer. And finally, the high cost of these interpretations limits the availability of this life-saving technology to many of those who need it most. So what can be done? In 2012, there was an amazing breakthrough in a field of artificial intelligence called deep learning. And for the very first time, this artificial intelligence program was able to create software that exceeded the performance of software written by the very best human programmers, specifically looking at complex visual recognition tasks. And as if that weren't enough, about 18 months later, the AI continued learning, continued growing, and the software that it produced improved even more so that it no longer surpassed the best human programmer's software, but it actually surpassed the human's ability to interpret those images. When we heard about this, Kim and I, my co-founder, formed DeepRadiology in 2015 to specifically apply deep learning technology to what may be one of the ultimate complex visual recognition tasks, medical imaging or radiology. We're both radiologists, and as we...
Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry. Thanks. We're both radiologists, and we were fortunate to recruit onto our team Lufkin, who is the inventor of the deep learning software. We only have his time for part-time because his daytime job is directing artificial intelligence at one of the largest artificial intelligence companies in the world, which is Facebook, just down the road here. We also recruited Rob Rankin, who joined us as chairman. Rob's old gig was as CEO of Deutsche Bank, Asia Pacific region. And then from this team, we built more and more people, extremely qualified individuals. We raised millions of dollars in venture capital, and we assembled about 1 billion medical images that were reviewed by expert radiologists and labeled that we used then to train our neural networks and begin to develop this technology. So what have we got here? In 2017, in December, just a couple months ago, we released this groundbreaking report, which was the first report of AI software that interpreted CT scans of the head at a level exceeding human radiologist performance. As most of you know, a CT scan is sort of like slicing a loaf of bread, and this is an image of the CT of the head. It's an axial slice through the head. The top is the front of the head, and the bottom is the back of the head. There's an obvious abnormality in the back region there that's circled. A radiologist will look at this image and approximately 30 to 60 other images in the CT head scan, and they'll be able to make an interpretation and correctly recognize the abnormality in about 3 to 5 minutes on average. Our software will do it in less than 1 second. The error rate with humans is very, very low, but our software is actually lower. The And then finally, the cost. In California, the cost on average for this type of interpretation is $50. Our software can do it for about 2 cents. We're now applying this technology to other types of imaging studies, CT of other parts of the body, mammography, nuclear medicine, magnetic resonance imaging, ultrasound, and even conventional x-rays. And every place we apply it, what we're finding is that the performance shown here increases with time with these systems, because these neural networks have a very unusual property, is that they continually learn, and theoretically every case they see, they get a little bit better and better and better. So unlike human radiologists, the AI always learns from its mistakes and never makes the same mistake twice, and that's something I wish I could say. Next, there was another revolution. Everybody in this room, I think, is aware of this one. The internet is about to be changed dramatically with blockchain and smart contracts. The very structure of businesses are going to change, and we believe that the future of cost-effective medical care is going to be through decentralization. And the first step here is tokenization, and there's significant billing, collection, accounts receivables, just money handling fees that we can strip away by offering our services through tokens. We'll still accept the fiat currency, but the people will have to pay more for that. Next, we go to decentralization of our processing power. We spend a lot of money for processing neural networks, and the processing for neural networks, interestingly, occurs on the same GPUs that we mine Ethereum on. So rather than writing checks every month to the legacy companies, the Googles, the AWS, the Microsoft, and other cloud providers, we propose having our own community run these on their own servers in a distributed network, on their own systems in a distributed network, and then return the money to our community. And in the process, we have a much more secure and much more reliable system to produce this computing. And then finally is eventual migration to fully distributed semi-autonomous or autonomous organizations or communities. This will further reduce the cost and give us dramatic improvements. And I think the types of companies that embrace this model, the traditional companies will not be able to compete with the cost savings. But it's more than about just cost, it's about aligned interests. Traditional companies, which most in medicine fall into this category, have shareholders, employees, and customers. And the employees extract value from the customers and deliver them to the shareholders. And this is a particularly bad system if you're thinking of healthcare and if you and I are the customers at the bottom of that chain. So for going to a distributed autonomous organization, we have the shareholders equal the customers and the employees. And as our products become sufficiently robust and developed, for example, a CT head reader, we propose launching that as essentially an autonomous system that would run in the community from there. So what we've seen on this is taking deep learning, artificial intelligence, blockchain, smart contracts, combining them to develop a new model for medical imaging services, dramatically lowering the cost and improving the accuracy in the process. If you liked what you hear today, please come and join us on our journey to change the world. Thank you very much.